What's going on YouTube? It's Tempest CFV. I've got my Dimensional Robos deck profile for you guys. Ironically, I guess not ironically, but it's up the same day as my trial deck openings, and I said that it would be up pretty soon. I didn't expect to be finished with it this quickly, but you know, it is what it is. It's finished. There's only like one or two changes that I might want to make, so until May anyway. So I'll go ahead and post the list for you guys since you know I'm here and it's finished. Starter is Kaiser because you don't have any other Dimensional Robo starter. Honestly, I think this is the best starter for the clan, for the archetype anyway, because there is another starter that comes out of the next set. But this card's really good. I think it's just so good. Like what he does is you put 4-dimensional Robo rear guards into your soul. If you have a grade 2 or higher dimension police Vanguard, and then you can superior ride another dimensional Robo grade 3 from your deck. So that's really good. Like, yeah, you minus 4 rear guards, but like, you get to superior ride a grade 3 from deck. So basically, if you don't already have a grade 3 in your hand, it's a +1. And if you're going like first and it's your second turn, then you get to go +2 because that turn you get twin drive instead of just a single drive check from a grade 2. You get a second drive check. So I think that's really good. Just being able to get any grade 3 that you need is just really helpful in this deck. So I really like Kaiser as a starter. It's just that good of a card. Triggers are really obvious now. We have 4-dimensional Robo crits. You can drop him from your soul to give 3k to a unit, so he's probably the best trigger to put in your soul if you have a choice. When you go to superior ride. 4 Justice Cobalts because I don't want to play stands in this deck. Crits are way better. Even though it's not a dimensional Robo, it's still better than Go Flight. So, and then 4-dimensional Robo draw triggers. Die Crane. This is like my favorite trigger now. It literally looks like a landmine from Transformers, which is kind of cool. And then 4 Glory Rescue, the heal trigger. So, yeah, dimensional Robo heal trigger lineup. You know, pretty standard. But the triggers actually really help you get your superior ride off a lot more consistently because it means basically every card in this deck can be used to help you get a grade 3 when you need it. Right, on to the grade 1s. For Die Brave, even with the draw triggers in here, this guy can really help you mitigate your losses. What he does is while he's in your soul and you have a Dimension Police Vanguard, you can remove him from soul to give your Dimension Police Vanguard a skill where if their attack hits the opponent's Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and draw a card. So, besides that, it's 7k booster, but it's a really good ability because it helps you draw cards. And since it's really easy to get off early game, like if you either ride him turn 1 or put him into your soul with Kaiser like turn 2, and then use his skill like immediately, it'll be really easy to get off because chances are your opponent's not going to guard your first, second Vanguard attacks. So either they won't be able to or they just can't. So this will probably be a guaranteed draw for you, and I really like that. I like draw power. 4 Die Tiger, he's your 10k attacker for the deck. He's also 7k booster, so it's really good. Good early game, good mid game, good late game, really. So I feel like you gotta play 4 if you have space for it. 4 perfect guards. I traded my Diamond Aces recently because I'm just gonna get 4 of the Dimension Police perfect guard when it comes out. So these are die shields for now, basically. The only difference between them and Diamond Ace that's actually significant is that when you go to turn 1 ride, let's say you have Great Kaiser in your hand already, and you don't need to superior ride with Kaiser. Great Kaiser, to limber with him, you have to have 3-dimensional Robos in your soul. So in order to, if like your die shield is your only turn 1 ride, then you have to ride it, and it's a dimensional Robo. That's fine. But if it was like a Diamond Ace and you had to ride it, then you lose out on like the limit break because you don't have enough dimensional Robos in your soul. It's kind of a serious issue. So you kind of gotta play 4 die shields if you can. If you're playing the other starter when it comes out in May, then it doesn't really matter that much. But basically, you want to play 4 die shields. And last 2 cards, the 2 Dielander. This is still a floater slot. I'm not sure what's gonna go here. It could be this. It could be Die Mariner, or it could be Commander Laurel, or it could be like a Glory Maker even. But the reason I put this card in out of all the other cards is because basically my logic was if I draw this card, I'm gonna, like if I draw a die Mariner like mid game or late game, I'm gonna be like, oh, cool, I just drew a 7k vanilla, I can't really do anything with, right? Which is not terrible, but with this guy, when I draw it, it's like, okay, cool. He only costs counterblast 1, and I can give one of my rear guards another stage of power. That's actually not bad. I might actually be able to use that, you know what I mean? You know, whereas if it's Glory Maker or Commander Laurel and I have a full field, then I can't even use them, right? So it's like, you know, what's the point? So figure if I'm drawing any of those cards, the two ofs, the floaters really, I'm gonna want to draw this guy the most out of all of those because he's actually usable at all stages of the game, whereas like the other ones are only usable like early game or mid game. So he's usable at all stages of the game. So that's really what it boiled down to. There's 14 grade ones, so yeah, pretty standard I think for dimensional Robos. For grade 2s, there's 11. For Kaiser, not everybody's playing this card, but I really like it. What he does is when you add a grade 3 on top of him, gives it 5k power. So you can combo this guy with your Die Brave to help you with the draw power, because your Vanguard are getting 3k from this. Then you can use Die Brave to remove it from Soul, and then now when your Vanguard hits, it's going to draw a card. So if the power boosts weren't enough, now your opponent's going to have to want to guard it. So it basically guarantees you a +1 if you combo those two together. 4 Die Dragon, 12k attack if you have Dimensional Robo Vanguard. It's no big deal, it's just big, and you kind of want to have it. And then the last card is 3 Die Fighter, the 10k vanilla. Now there's a couple options here you can play. You can play 3 of this guy, you can play 3 Die Lady if you really feel like you can, you know, potentially get her to go off a lot. Or you can play 3 Die Driller, which is the 8k lets you counterblast 1 to give 4k to Vanguard. I personally don't like Die Driller. I feel like the power from him isn't really needed in this build. For Dielander, it's one thing because it's like a lesser of 2 or 3 or 4 evils right now because there's not really anything better to play. But with this slot, I think it's definitely better to have the 10k consistent attacker than having an 8k that can give 4k to another unit per turn. So that's personal preference. This card is coming out for Die Barrett when he comes out in mid-April. And I'll probably post an update to that deck. Actually, no, I won't be updating it, but I will get him, and I will put him in. So I guess I'll tell you right now what he does, because you're going to want to get him when he comes out. He's a 9k attacker, and what he does is you can counterblast 1 and put Die Barrett into Soul to give 4k to your Dimension Place Vanguard, and a skill where if they hit the Vanguard, you can retire on your opponent's free cards. That's really good. It's totally worth it. It's way better than Die Driller, so go find those if you're playing this deck, because it's going to be way better than Die Fighter. And then for grade 3s, I'm playing 4 Die Kaiser because he's your main Vanguard of the deck. He's the whole point of playing this deck. You want to superior ride him turn 2 if you can, so you can break ride with him. If you don't want what he does, like you counterblast 1, your Vanguard gains 10k in a crit, and then if your opponent drive checks a grade 3, if you drive check a grade 3, you can kill one of your opponent's guardians and negate its effects, so it stops perfect guards. It's pretty OP, and it's a break ride, so there's that. And then the last card is 4 Great Dayusha. I'm not playing regular Dayusha right now. I was thinking of subbing out one of the Great Dayushas for one regular Dayusha. The thing is, like, I feel like you don't need to play more than one regular Dayusha because if you, like, the only reason you'd play it would be for the cross ride, right? So, which is okay, but I don't know if I want to go like the more defensive route in this deck, or the more offensive route. Because like the more offensive route would be 4 of everything. The more defensive route would be to try and fit in 2 Dayushas so I have an easier chance of riding it. The problem with playing Dayusha in this deck is that means you have to ride 3 grade 3s in the game to make it like the most effective. Is to ride Dayusha, ride Die Kaiser, and then ride Great Dayusha, or you have to, you know, ride Die Kaiser, break regular Dayusha, and then play, you know, Great Dayusha. Or, you know, you have to ride Die Kaiser and then play regular Dayusha on your guard if you're using it. It's a lot of work. So I could maybe see running 1 or 2, but Dayusha just doesn't seem like a really viable card anymore. You just play this guy for his limit break that gives him an extra crit, and then you break ride him, and he's at 3 crit on his own and can kill perfect cards. So yeah, I just don't like playing Dayusha right now. It's only 8 grade 3. Some people are saying you want to play 9, so you have the best odds of not misriding but still hitting the Die Kaiser limit break skill. So you can play 9 if you want. I would cut a grade 1, probably a Die Tiger for like a Dayusha or something. So yeah, I think that's basically all there is to it. I'll be testing this here and there, in and out. We'll see if I make any changes, any major changes. I'll be sure to update it. But yeah. that's basically the deck. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, and like it. That's what a thumbs up means. And be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching.